646-915-9397, or join us in the chat room, or tweet me at Lotus Tom. So, big announcement at Comic-Con. I didn't go this year, much as it pained me. A lot of reasons why. But I loved the Comic-Con. I love the costumes. I love the cosplayers. I love the thing. And they always make a couple big announcements. Well, the biggest by far, although there were some good ones, the biggest by far was a Superman and Batman movie. I mean, that's like makes my science fiction head explode because it's going to be so great. For those of you who are not real familiar with the genre, Frank Miller did a book called The Dark Knight Returns. It's what they call a graphic novel. It's a book, but it's in comic book form. And they announced at Comic-Con with a big logo, like a Superman and Batman logo. And they announced it by quoting a line from this graphic novel, which is probably the greatest line in any graphic novel history. I know it's debatable. I agree with though. This is the line. It goes, "In all the years to come, in all the most private moments, I want you to remember." This is Batman talking to Superman. "I want you to remember that was my hand at your throat. I want you to remember the one man who beat you," which is an epic moment in this graphic novel because the whole story is how a whole bunch of events conspire where Superman is forced to take Batman out. And, you know, the whole concept of Superman versus Batman, Superman, of course, he's invulnerable. He can fly at the speed of, light or whatever. And Batman's just an ordinary man, so there's no contest, right? But there is. And it shows you how Bruce Wayne defeats Clark Kent, because it's not Batman defeating Superman. That's the point of this book. It's Bruce Wayne, the human being, defeating Kal-El, the Kryptonian. And Bruce Wayne making a point that you've faced all kinds of incredibly dangerous foes. You've defeated demigods, super criminals, just about anything that walks, moves, or squeaks on the earth. But you can't beat the human spirit. That's what was great about this book. And it shows you how Batman defeats Superman by outsmarting him, brains over brawn, which is a personal theme for me. It's why one of the reasons why I love Lex Luthor, because Lex Luthor, is an ordinary man, and he always is an equal foil to Superman. But this book, and I don't know if they're going to actually film The Dark Knight Returns. I hope they do. I hope they base it on that, an older Bruce Wayne with the plot of this book, because it's an absolutely epic plot. It's really been it's so strong a plot that it's been built into so many new storylines in comic books, from Marvel to DC. The concept that government would force masked Avengers, vigilantes, superheroes to unmask, and for the public safety, and how it often divides the superhero world. For instance, in the Civil War series, that there's a civil war between the superheroes because there's some element like Captain America and others who don't want to unmask, and then there are some like Iron Man and some of the others that do unmask. And you're starting to see that in some of the movies, that some heroes are willing to forgo the mask and their, identity to make themselves public, and some aren't, and the tension that comes from that. And it comes to a head in Miller's Dark Knight Returns. Even though it's been done in others, I don't think anybody's done it better than Miller's Dark Knight Returns, with an older Bruce Wayne who decides to put on the cape and mask again against federal law, and how Superman's ordered eventually to take him down. It's just a fabulous story. It brings in elements from many years of comic books. It shows many superheroes and supervillains as they're old and gray and their feelings on it. The only other book that I've seen that can match The Dark Knight Returns in depth of construction of the story was Kingdom Come, which was another Superman story, interestingly enough, which involved a sort of civil war between some of the newer superheroes and some of the older ones, and also had Batman in it. Maybe they're going to do Kingdom Come. I don't know. Either one of the story would have been good. Kingdom Come's a little different, but it's a little bit more human. But the tension between the characters of Batman versus Superman it really is an epic story arc, and I'm glad they're bringing it out. We'll see what remains. We got Wolverine this weekend. Wolverine the movie is another one. Wolverine, ninjas, Japanese philosophy. What's not to love? That's going to be a great movie, I think. Got Silver Samurai as the bad guys. I saw clips of it. I don't want to get into too many details. I know somewhat of the plot. But yeah, it's going to be, I think, a reason for them to bring Wolverine into line with the next Avengers movie. That's the rumor, that he's going to be in the next Avengers 2 or Avengers 3, which they've already planned. They've already said there's going to be another Avengers movie. We've got Captain America Winter Soldier, I think next spring. They've said that I think it's Captain America, Wolverine, and Iron Man, because Tony Stark is coming back. Robert Downey Jr. Should be very good. I don't know if they're going to do another Hulk movie. The thing with Hulk is it's hard to do a good character study when the guy just goes into a rage fit, right? I know there's a lot of fans out there, but I don't know if the Hulk lends itself to his own movie. They've tried to do it. They've rebooted it a couple times, and it's not been successful. Spider-Man, I hear, is also going to be brought in line. I've seen the clip from Spider-Man 2 from Comic-Con. I was a little disappointed. It doesn't look good, but I could be wrong. You can't really tell from the clips, because Iron Man 3 looks great from the clips with the samurai, and it just didn't pan out. I know it was an okay movie, but it just kind of went nowhere. But I've been disappointed with Iron Man, except for the first movies. Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, and I think part of the problem with the Iron Man movies is they really don't have good villains in the comic books. That's why the Civil War scenario with Iron Man that has been so good, because the character Tony Stark and Iron Man is great, but the division is different. So